All right, let's just get into it. Normally, for my after work streams, I try and start around 7 to half 7. It is 9:45 right now. Yeah. It's been an evening, but there's a load of stuff that I want to get done, so that I can keep doing stuff off stream, mainly with Eureka. And also there's some weekly stuff that I can't really let slip. So, first things first, let's just have a quick look. Pyros has been going well. Pyros has been going well. Pyros is one of those areas it's the area in Eureka where things start to pick up pace. Pagos feels incredibly slow and takes ages. Then you get to Pyros, and once you get up to the max level, and once you get some good Logos actions, you can solo spawn NMs, and even if you're in a dead instance, you can potentially solo the Fates by yourself, which is quite good. That's not how I got all of these. Pyros is also quite active because there is some of the I think it's some of the most expensive Eureka items that don't require the Baldessian Arsenal are from Pyros. So yeah, we're going to be going and finishing off Pyros, but first things first. In fact, actually, whilst we're here, first things first, Wondrous Tales for the week. As you can see, I've filled it in, and there's a chance at 2 lines here, so let's just see. Can I get lucky? No, fuck you. No, fuck you. That was unfortunate. What do I even want the experience in? I've been leveling my Gunbreaker. We've nearly got that up to 80. That's going to take a little bit longer. And then Dancer is very far behind at the moment. I should probably... Let's put it into Scholar. Because the more levels that I get into Scholar, the better. Okay, and now that I've got that, how much MGP does that put us at? Oh yeah, that's taken us over 2 mil. Not that I plan on buying the 2 mil mount, but it's nice to know that we're there. And also, that gets me all of the stuff I need in order to get past that stage of the Mordona stage of Anima Relics for every single realm. Okay, Adakaraj, you are the only custom delivery that I still have left. Well, if this isn't a wicked wartfish I see. You've done well to rear in such a rare and usable fish. Not only is its flesh good for eating, being relatively odorless, its oil is also ideal for use as a fuel. So we should finish off Adakaraj. Now, thanks to you, we've amassed a fine selection of furnishings. By ensuring that the hard place is well appointed, we can keep our patrons comfortable, and a comfortable patron is a happy patron. With your furnishings adorning the hall, we've been attracting new patrons not only with our food, but with our ambiance as well. The result being we are doing better business than we have in many moons. Which leads me to my next piece of news. Finally, we are profitable once more. Such a stellar recovery we couldn't have achieved without you. I knew I was right to place my faith in you, my friend. Truly, I never cease to amaze myself with my powers of judgment. Master Adkaraj, lest you forget, after is Loe's supplier first and foremost. Just kidding. By saving the hard place, you saved the orphanage as well. Now I can sleep at night again without having to count flatbread, which wasn't that helpful anyway because I'd run out at about 5 pieces. But seeing Master Adkaraj's success has inspired Zoe to redouble her efforts, which is to say you have to redouble your efforts for the children. Allow me to express my gratitude too, adventurer. With the hard place prospering again, your fellow adventurers are starting a return to Idleshire. As a woman of the house and a citizen of Idleshire both, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I've experienced many and more hardships in my life, but this one alone I do not think I could have overcome without your help. The hard place is more than just a tavern. It's the only home the children of the orphanage know, and a place where dreamers of all walks may gather to rest away their cares. That this place could be all these things is because you and other kind souls have reached out a helping hand to this piggy. For that, I give you my heartfelt thanks. Now come, my friend, let us keep up our great work. Hey, Patinga, how you doing? Sorry for the late start today. Adkaraj could not be happier with your efforts. He now considers you a savior of the hard place. Through your efforts, the hard place has managed to turn its financial fortunes around. It seems, however, that Adkaraj has a different sort of favor to ask you. There's something I wish to speak with you about. When first I came to Eorzean, an outsider without a guild to his name, Hillshire was the only place that welcomed me. The Ishgardians, for instance, judged me solely by my appearance, looking me up and down before turning me away. So much for civilized peoples, I thought. My own tribes know better. The Adakim are ever racked by internal feuds, rivals trying to get the better of one another. The idiocy has all left me bitter and jaded. But this town restored my faith in my fellow man. Here, folk of all races and walks of life live together in harmony, joining hands in common cause. Fondly do I remember when I first set about establishing the hard place. One after the next, my neighbours came and offered me unsolicited help. They've done me a good turn. It's only fair that I return the favour. This I mean to do by making the hard place the best place it can be. A place where folk can relax and eat their fill, where they can raise their cups in good times and in bad, where they can chatter about everything and nothing until the break of dawn. Everything that Idleshire has given me, I intend to give back and more. To that end, I hope I can continue to rely on your help. What's that? You wonder why I still wear my disguise, though there's no longer a need to hide? Well, by now it's become part of my identity, my brand, if you will. That being said, as a businessman, I'm well aware of the import of staying abreast of prevailing trends. Moreover, I'm ever on the lookout for opportunities to broaden my horizons. Therefore, I give you permission to use glamour prisms upon me, with your surpassing fashion sense, give me an appearance that you think will speak to our clientele. There we go. I can now dress up the pig. And that now means that we've maxed out the satisfaction with all of the custom deliveries that we have access to at the moment. We will be unlocking 2 new ones as soon as I actually continue the fucking MSQ though. So, I now need to go to the Namazu, who we can rank up with. Attendees love our fins-on activities. Just look at that one over there, who seems most loath to let go of his horse. But we cannot afford to rest in our jars just yet. You see, our dramatic demise, our painful annihilation... Oh, I forgot to call Gyore and Gyofun. One moment, please. I've summoned you all here for one reason. Yes, yeah. I assume this will again be some nonsense about dreams and prophecies. You must recall that I cautioned you against eating unidentified plant matter. If it comes from the ground, it's food. Yes, yes. Just because I was rendered violently ill, incapacitated for a fortnight by those green mushrooms, does not mean... Wait. What were we talking about? Oh, yes, yes. I've continued to see our greatest grandsire in my dreams. Though the dreams of your addled mind are immaterial to my goal of enlightening one and all, I've identified an aspect in which our festival is lacking compared to those of our ancestors. That's fantastic, Segutsu the Enlightened. Yes, yes. Though I cannot help but worry that you're about to... Allow me to elaborate in detail. Culture is an ever-evolving beast, you see. The radicalization of culture in particular results in unique cultural expressions and outsiders struggle to comprehend. When it's applied to rituals, festivals become true carnivals of the bizarre. Given that our ancestors' festivals were known as unforgettable spectacles, should we not assume they had a fair few radical elements? In which case, our event must needs include at least one uniquely memorable ritual if we are to carry on their legacy. That actually sounds interesting. I'm most intrigued. What happens in these rituals that everyone finds so strange? I haven't the foggiest. Religious rituals are secretive by nature, my dear Gyoshin. Perhaps it's my own fault. Yes, yes. I neglected to remember Gyofun's unhelpfulness. I suppose we'll put this matter to rest for now. Call it a day. Now hold on a minute. Your lack of intellectual curiosity is no fault of mine. The correct response would be to acknowledge our need to engage in further research. Occidentalism makes mention of a Charlean society devoted to the pursuit of knowledge. One of their number might be privy to the information we seek. One such as yourself must know Charleans of the intellectual persuasion we require. Preferably someone wizened, with arcane knowledge, who's also an expert in rituals. Perhaps you know a few fitting that profile? Master Matoya in Drovania, you say? Yes, she sounds ideal. It's so convenient that you foreigners all know each other. Yes, yes, she sounds most convenient. Much more useful than Gyofun. I really hate to ask, but could you convey me to Master Matoya's in your bag? Matoya is a fair trek around the world, to be honest. It's a good thing I can teleport. It does mean that we're headed straight back to Idleshire, though. It feels like it's been ages since I last streamed FF14. Did I have... No, I must not have. So, I now have the Ixion mount, as well as his barding. I need to kill him one more time in order to get his minion, though. And I also have the Rathalos mount from killing the extreme version of Rathalos 50 plus times. But I actually think that the Rathalos mount is one of the more detailed ones. Like, the detail on the wings is really nice. All the texture. And the scales look really, really good. I also realized my main monitor that I actually play games on rather than use as my like side monitors, it has two HDMI ins, one of which is 30 hertz, which means that it's limited to 30 frames per second. And that was the one that I was using. So I was actually only getting to see anything in 30 frames per second. So I've changed that, and we're now back to DisplayPort, so that I can have increased frame rates. Not that it's a massive issue for me, personally, but just if my computer can now handle higher frame rates, it does make things nice and smooth. Get out here, you bastard. Is this the place? Please tell me this is the place. Hello, hello. Are you Master Matoya? I'm relieved to see you so moist, so slimy. From After's description, you sounded most dry and intimidating. Eager to get off on the wrong foot, are we? Oh no. The scary ladies, Master Matoya? I'm so sorry. Most apologetic. I was confused. Well, since you and your bumbling companion have already disrupted my routine, I suppose I'll hear you out. I presume you've a reason for coming here other than to annoy me? Oh, the world is hardly short of carnivals of the bizarre. Competitive cheese rolling, fertility rituals where the bride gets whacked with a stick. I tell you, if someone tried that with me, they'd be out an eye. Whatever nonsense you can imagine, someone's getting up to it. But if you seek to avert a calamitous fate, I trust you'll want to do better than those half-baked traditions. For a truly memorable spectacle, you'll want to revive a ceremony so terrible, so horrible that few would dare to even whisper of it. One so steeped in evil that men swore never again to perform it. Ooh, evil, darkness, tell me more, tell me more. If you shrink not from these horrors, I assume you're prepared to not only sully your hands, but your very soul. Yes, yes, I will save the Namazu, even if I must endure a never-ending celebration, even if I must work my fins to the bone. Colour me impressed. Confused, but impressed. I'll prepare a simple manuscript on forbidden rituals for you. Just stay put, have some tea, do whatever it is you Namazu do. Hey, Mega Wolf, how you doing? Here we are. Only 300 pages, but it should serve. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, right. Tea makes Namazu tipsy. Lucky you. It's a miracle they've survived this long. Well, back in the sack with him. You wouldn't turn down an opportunity to whack someone with a stick. Understandable. To whack someone with a stick and have no repercussions. Fresh air at last. Ugh, you might want to wash that. It smells like vomit in there. Anyway, we should focus on this tome Matoya so kindly, most generously gave us. A manuscript penned by the Garlean scholar herself. I must peruse it without delay. Yes, it's most enlightening. So full of information on fascinating rituals that I can hardly decide which we should attempt. Relinquish that this instant! I must read it! Just a moment, please. This one is just so... Oh, but this one is also... Give it here, I say! Now! No! Whoa, wait! Fascinating. Oh! Are you all right? Yes, there can only be one, no other. This Wicker Man is the perfect choice. We must incinerate a live sacrifice inside a massive effigy. It is the only way to avert total Namazu annihilation. Yes. I dare say he ought to be stopped, but it may be unwise to anger him just now. Work! We require a large Namazu effigy. You must help me build it. You'll not defy me, no? You will find materials to create fuel in the crate. I expect you to bring me the most flammable you have ever made. Yes. Yurei will be the one collecting the components. All 107 of them. So speak to her when you're ready. It's time to cook up some fuel. Effigy components. Don't worry, I'm just cooking up your flammable stuff. It's extremely flammable. Be careful with it. Don't get it near any kind of heat source. Yoshin seems a bit odd, though I suppose he's always odd. Haha, the final component! Thank you, thank you. Now, let us see what comes of this. So when they say a giant effigy, just how giant are we talking? Pretty fucking giant! Wow, it's like looking into a stream, a reflection staring back at me. Most imposing, quite impressive. Yoshin, are you not forgetting something? Yet again. Huh? The life sacrifice, you imbecile! Oh, thank you so much for volunteering. I most certainly am not volunteering. Should it not be the artist who sees his work through to the end? Well, I'm quite sure, indeed confident, that after provided the most important bits. Oh, for the big one's sake! You need not be in such a hurry to set each other aflame. According to Matoya's manuscript, a cloth doll is a perfectly acceptable substitute for the sacrifice. Yes, yes. I set my fins to sewing a few some time ago, and I followed the instructions to the letter, so they should be more than sufficient. You're a lifesaver. Let us get this fire started! And suddenly, it could be something out of Monster Hunter. Like, honestly, if that was cat-shaped instead of fish-shaped. On a completely unrelated note, I am looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds. I've seen a couple of things come up on TikTok, and everything I see about it just makes me want it. In 7 years, the Namazu were fated to fall deeply in debt and be doomed to work ceaselessly as slaves for the sinister soy sauce mogul, Kageyama. Many would have died. However, the oversized Namazu effigy will, over the course of 7 years, come to be known far and wide as a uniquely bizarre spectacle and generate significant revenue from tourism. Unbeknownst to all, the Namazu will be spared the grievous tragedy that could have consumed them, and their fate continues to change for the better. I dare say it's impossible to discern the meaning or purpose behind this peculiar ritual. Indeed, it is nothing less than the epitome of enlightenment. Yeah. Just the type of people. The fish people are quick for bloodshed, my type of people. Just the type of people to whack somebody without regret. Alright, and they now sell me more shit too. In a barrel. Oh, I think it's the effigy and the buns that they now sell. I think so. Cool. Well, now that that's done, I'm not yet ready to rank up with any of the other ones, but we are getting there. And of course, this now puts both the Namazu and the Kyojin on the last level of their reputations. So once we finish these, we should unlock their mounts, and then it's just going to be the Ananta that need to catch up so that we can do the Allied questline. But now... let's head into Pyros. Because yeah, I've done a lot of Pyros recently. So the first thing that we're going to do is have a look at logos. I did quite a bit of bunny fate farming earlier today, to be honest, to try and make some money. And to try and get there's a mount in Pyros for the Elder's mount, which is basically a fiery yeti that I like the look of and want. But there is... let me get the logogram tracker up. Alright, let me... can I... yes. Okay, so this is the tracker that is used for most things in Eureka, because you can get all of the different regions and stuff like that. But these are all of the different actions, the logos actions that you can make from logograms. All of the ones that are coloured in, I have crafted at least once. And if I could craft them, so for example, if I gave myself another dispel, it then will show in white that I can craft it. This is a very, very handy tool because parts of the process to upgrade your relic weapon require you to have crafted a certain unique number of logos actions. But what that meant is that I had to buy logograms that you can only get in Hydatos, which is the last region, in order to try and make some of the higher level things. So I've now crafted 53 out of the total possible 56 logos actions, which means that I can do pretty much everything in Pyros. That's important because this is what the blue blurb with Drake is going to be for the having done 50. There was one that unlocked at, I think it was like 10 logos actions, and then another one at 30, which were basically just Geralt pops out and goes, hey, I can make your weapon better now. And then the one leading up to the level 50 is, ooh, I've got another idea, but just keep using the manipulator and keep gathering data. So now if I talk to Drake, You'll say it again, you can't say there's a lack of content in Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, definitely not, because we're still only in Stormblood. We still have Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and then Dawntrail. And Shadowbringers has another instanced separate leveling zone like Eureka, called Bosya. And then there's another one that either there is or is going to be in Dawntrail for the Dawntrail relic. So we've got at least 2 more situations that are going to be similar to this. Excellent, you're here. Master Geralt bade me seek you out, but it seems you saved me the trouble of trudging through the snow. It would seem his continued work with memes has nothing at all to do with weapons, but something else altogether. You've been very busy of late. Oh, if isn't the hero of the hour. You're a bleeding master of memes, are you? Yeah, and let no man say different. I've applied all the data you've supplied us with to a forgotten project of mine, Eureka Gear. Thought I forgot all about it, didn't you? Well, I didn't. Turned out to be a lot easier than I anticipated too. So easy, in fact, that I'm leading the production of said gear to this here gent. If you want for new and improved stuff, speak with him and he'll get you sorted, and that's that. If only he could be so innovative and driven at all times, perhaps he'd have never been taken in by Rowena. In any case, I think it's safe to say that we're no longer in need of research data. You may, of course, continue to use the manipulator as you like. Thank you again for your continued assistance. Meme master. Now that's my kind of lad. Yeah. So what that means is if I talk to this guy, though my skills pale in comparison to his, Master Geralt has bade me oversee the production of all Eureka armor for the foreseeable future. Should you have need of any pieces, you need only provide the requisite materials. This is then going to let me make the elemental armor set, which some of the pieces do actually look really good. It's unfortunate that as a Viera, I can't have the fending and maiming headpiece, because this is actually one of the cooler armor sets that you can get, because this is the first level of the elemental armor that you can get from Pyros. You can get 2 powered up versions of it. There's +1 and +2, which you get in the next region of Hydatos, and they add glow effects to your armor, which looks pretty fucking awesome. So, what does the casting one look like? Given that I've been running through this all as a red mage. I kind of hate it. Yay! What about striking? Amy? Same thing. Okay, that's unfortunate. Alright. So, I do want a set of this armor because I'll need it to continue upgrading and for glam. You're very happy with your black mage drip at the minute. Fair. I'm quite happy with my black mage glam at the minute as well, but I could use having a better maiming glam for Dragoon and Reaper. Basically, I want to get a set of this. But it doesn't really matter if I get a headpiece, because I can't equip it. It doesn't really matter if I get a chest piece, because I can't equip it, because the Kira Nasode is best in slot. I'm not going to actually get any of this just yet, but I will be making a set of armor. It's probably going to be the maiming one. Probably. So the chest piece is not the best piece of equipment for Eureka, but at +2, each piece gets an elemental bonus, and it might even get a bit of haste, which makes it some of the best gear for in Eureka. So I guess let's get the gloves of casting. The trousers of casting. And the shoes of casting. They're not that expensive when it comes to Pyros crystals. It's 200 crystals for a full set. And that isn't that difficult to get in Pyros. So I don't feel too bad about doing that. Now, I need to change my weapon, because we're going to upgrade our relic. Here to get your weapons augmented, lass. An elemental tuck, you say? Alright, let's see the rest of the requisite materials then, eh? Yeah, looks like we're all set. Give it here and I'll get to work. So the first one requires 150 crystals. Right, sit tight and I'll get started. Now that's a work of art, it is. Brought the power of Pyros into your weapon and given her a new lease of life. Don't you trot off thinking that's the best I can do, though. With the right knowledge and materials, I'm certain we can push her even further. So, to show what that looks like, it's the exact same. It's literally the exact same. It's just got a +1 on it. So first one required 150, this requires 200. So what do you reckon the third and final level for Pyros requires? Other than it's going to require the items from Penny, which is the, like, big, rare boss of Pyros. $300! So you need a total of 650 Pyros crystals, as well as 5 of Penny's flame. I poured a lot of blood and sweat and tears into this booty and pushed her to her limits. If you want to push her further, you're going to have to make a choice. Her core attributes can be strengthened, aye, but in exchange you'll have to strip her of secondary properties, you might say. It's not all bad, though. If you got the right of it, we should be able to tweak her a little after that fact. But that'll require no shortage of materials as well. Any road, last chance. You sure you want to go through with this? So basically, this will get rid of all of the substats of the weapon. Right then. As long as you're going in with your eyes wide open. But there will then be a way for us to add and re-roll substats. But now it's on fire! Bugger me, we've outdone ourselves yet again. We've milked the half-frozen, half-smouldering lifeblood of Pyros, and with it forged a masterpiece. You hold in your hands the zenith of what this godforsaken hellhole's got to offer. I give you the Pyros Tuck. So as I mentioned before, I had to strip your weapon of secondary properties in order to push a core attributes beyond her limits. But you'd be pleased to hear that that is a simple method by which you might imbue it with the properties it lost, if not still better ones. Get over that kettle I gave you in Pagos, would you? That's right. It's coming back to the fucking kettle. That ought to do it. I made a few modifications which should enable it to soak up the unique energies of Pyros. You're welcome, by the way. Once it's brimming with vitilated ether, you'll need to seek out another crystal forge and use it like before. The one in Pagos won't do. Reckon there's one around here, though I'm damned if I know where to look. Any road. Once you got a stock of smouldering protean crystals, you can use them in conjunction with the meme works to enhance your weapon further. Comes with a manual, by the way, so if you're feeling responsible, maybe take a look before you get started. Eh? Why can't you use vitilated ether crystals of Pagos? Fuck me, what do I look like, a bleeding aetherologist? No use killing the messenger, lass. You want a convoluted explanation as to why you gotta jump through a new set of hoops eerily similar to the last? Go and ask Miss Kryle. Hells, I did just that not long ago and she buried me in a mountain of gibberish and equations. All I took away from it was that only the vitilated ether of Pyros would do. Made me feel like a bleeding idiot, to be honest. Actually, given that you're no aetherologist yourself, it might be best if you don't ask her for an explanation after all. But never mind all that. You know what you need to do, so go out there and do it. The end nears. So yeah, we'll build up vitilated ether in Pyros now. Oh yeah. So yeah, it has pretty much no substats. But it looks cool. Okay. I now need to speak with Kryle to actually progress the story so that we can go to Hydatos. I know this is sudden, but I have to ask. You didn't stumble across a piece of magicite recently, did you? I was afraid you might say no. You see, I've been tracking a number of confluences, but before I can pinpoint their exact location, each vanished without a trace, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, given that the ethereal currents have become more stable as a result, but I can't believe this is a natural occurrence. Magicite doesn't simply vanish on its own, which leads me to believe someone is collecting it. If not you, then that leaves Educa? Even if he is trying to help, he can at least let us know. And if he's not doing it for us, then that leads me to wonder why. Until we meet again, though, we can only carry on with our original plans. There's one confluence I've located in West Flame Rock that is yet to dissipate. If you'd be so kind as to hasten to it and retrieve it, I'd be most grateful. Okay. Before I do that, let me make sure that I don't fucking die immediately to everything. Which means I need Plate Bearer. What level is this? This is level 40. Okay. In which case, I need to fast travel here. And then we go over here. And up here, the Partisan's Proof, that's where you go to empty your kettle. When you've got stuff in it. I think it's... yeah, there it is. Oh, they've spawned the lowest level NN. At the center of the confluence of ether, you find a shimmering stone, magicite. As you kneel to retrieve it, the confluence dissipates. Oh, fuck off. Am I gonna have to kill these? Maybe the one? No, good. Welcome back. I take it you have a magicite for me. And Ejiku was nowhere to be found, was he? Not that I expect us to get that lucky again. As for me and my research, I think I'm getting closer and closer to understanding Grandfather's intent in reversing the flow. You'll forgive me if I refrain from divulging my theories until I'm more confident, though. Wouldn't want to look the fool. Okay, so now level 45. Confused baby. It's so simple! How could I have not seen it earlier? It's a massive ward, one which encompasses the whole of the Isle. Diverting the ethereal currents as they did, Grandfather and the others transformed the Isle of Val into an arcane ward. But that was only in the beginning. What Grandfather later realized was that, by inverting the pattern and reversing the ethereal flow, the primal could be slowly drained of ether, eventually killing it once and for all. Oh, how to explain? It's like your Magia board. Yes, imagine the entire Isle of Val is one giant Magia board. Not exactly, of course, but close enough. Every confluence marks a blockage in the ethereal flow, reducing the effectiveness of the board. But with every blockage removed, the effectiveness increases, and the ward holding the primal in place grows stronger. On second thought, that's not at all similar to the Magia board. But never mind that. The important thing is that removing the blockages is key to strengthening the ward. To that end, we've made great strides. But as it was with Pagos and Animos before, we cannot simply clear the smaller blockages and call it a day. To completely restore the flow within a given region, we need to, in essence, align certain key points. Were I to return to my rather poor metaphor of the Magia board, these would be analogous to pieces of magicite, perhaps. Naturally, given the scale of the ward in question, they would need to be far larger than the pieces in our possession. For a region the size of Pyros, we would need at least four what? Aetherites? Aetherites? By the 12, for whatever inexplicable reason, I cannot help but miss the most obvious solution. I wonder if this is why the founders were so devoted to the study of aetheryte technologies. All the while they were constructing an Ethernet that served a second secret purpose. I'm glad you're here to show me the light after. I'll be honest, Chief. I'm only able to catch on every other sentence. That's fair. God, for a moment I thought that was an earthquake. I sensed a disturbance in the force. This doesn't make any... Oh no. We have to go to the proto-aetherite right now. No, no, no! It's all wrong. It was working perfectly fine before. This had happened. How indeed? Ejika, what have you done? I've removed a rather vexing impediment from the equation. The proto-aetherite was integral to the ward. You knew, and yet you... Help me to understand, Ejika. As if either of you ever could. No, I think I'll let him do the talking. Breaker of chains, thou hast kept the faith. The covenant is forged, bearer just and true, hand worthy to wield the blade. That looks like Zansetsuken. Odin's sword. What a magnificent blade it is. Pure ether by my reckoning. Perhaps the finest blade ever forged. All that I wanted. More. Such strength is now mine to command, to use as I see fit. Is this the power that sets your heart racing, O brave and beloved adventurer, when you hold your enemy's life in your hands? This isn't you, Ejika! Don't you see? The primal is clouding your mind. Oh, dearest Cryle, you could not be more wrong. I see it all so clearly now. With open eyes have I welcomed this power into my being. Welcomed the glory of Eureka into my heart. In light she walketh, and in light she abideth, as did the one before who tried and failed to lay us low. But now we have a champion. Ejika, don't do this. Don't let it make you its thrall. I am, and ever will be my own master. I'll wait for you within the tower, at its prison. But be warned, I'll not wait forever. Ejika! I don't know what to do. don't know what to do. Even after reinforcing the frame, it's not enough to stabilize the internal components. At this rate, we'll never get it up and running again. If we were in the Garlean motherland, perhaps, I'd have all the necessary equipment at my disposal, but it's on the other side of the world. Not only did Eorzean destabilize the regional Aethernet, I fear he may have shattered the ward Grandfather and the others put in place. If so, then there's nothing stopping Eureka from feeding upon the ethereal currents. Eventually it'll be strong enough to shatter the barrier encompassing our headquarters, and once that happens, it's all over. He's succumbed to the Primal's influence, hasn't he? I don't want to believe it, but after everything he said and did, how did we come to this? Just when it felt like we were so close to setting things right. If ever there was a time I wished Grandfather were here to offer his advice. Sounds like somebody needs a good whacking. Kick the baby. Why does that look like Nero? Gods, I can barely keep my eyes open. If I have to spend another night slaving away for the sake of atheological experiments. For someone so exhausted, you clearly have enough energy to whine. As if it's not taking its toll on you too. I can see it in your face and hear it in your increasingly curt instructions. What you call curt, I call efficient. If you're so concerned about whiling away the hours, you could spare me the idle chit-chat and leave me to my work. Not all of us can coast on reputation and God-given blessings. Eorzean, I'm not looking for another fight. I'm here to help. You can help by being anywhere but here. I have matters well in hand and do not require your assistance whatsoever. Oh, you mean now that we've solved those thorny problems which drove you to come to me in the first place? Why am I not surprised that once again you're pushing me away the moment you no longer have need of me? I knew this was going to happen. Did you now? Then why did you come here? By the 12, Eorzean, I don't hate you. I've never hated you. You're exhausting and annoying and rude and a bloody pain to work with. But you're also driven and clever, and God help me, I actually enjoy your company. And I think your research has merit, and I want to see you succeed. Is that really so hard to believe? If you're gonna stay, then you should at least make yourself useful. Oh, Kryle. Eorzean, you two truly do make a wonderful pair. We do not! So Galvus looks like an old Nero. I thought your granddaddy. Judging from that vacant stare of yours, I can only assume that you were walking in my memories. He's always been like that, I suppose. Ever eager to take on the most challenging work, never unwilling to admit he needs help unless pressed, and then quick to dismiss it after the fact. To someone like me, someone who's accustomed to navigating societal circles and being mindful of what people think, his complete and utter disregard for opinions of others of what others think is, quite frankly, I envied him. shouldn't be thinking about him like this. Like he's forever lost to us. We must carry on and do what must be done when the time comes. I'm going to need time to reevaluate our situation and determine the best course of action. Sounds like timey-wimey fuckery. Kinda. You're not wrong. Let's take stock of what we know. A deiform entity named Eureka was imprisoned within the central tower of the headquarters of the students of Baldesion by means of a complex arcane ward spanning the entirety of the Isle of Val. Said ward was then modified by Grandfather and the other founders to slowly drain Eureka of its considerable ether, eventually killing it once and for all. However, with the proto-aetherite no longer operational, the ward has been broken, perhaps permanently. Without the ward to bind or drain it of ether, Eureka can feed on the ethereal currents to regain its strength and eventually break free of the barriers surrounding our headquarters. Assuming Eureka dates back to the time of Alag, defeating it in the traditional manner would ensure it never returned, as those who summoned it forth are long dead. Yet Grandfather and the others instead elected to imprison it here on the Isle. The question is, why? If, for some reason, slaying it is not an option, then we would need to restore the original ward. Alas, without the proto-aetherite, I cannot see a means to do so. Simply put, we have no good options. That said, we cannot simply throw our hands up and do nothing, can we? I should like to think we are of one mind in that respect. So, in the spirit of trying something, anything, regardless of how ineffectual it may prove, I'd like you to first help me tie up a loose end. I've detected another confluence in East Flamerock, the last piece of magicite still clogging the ethereal arteries of Pyros, I suspect. I'd like you to go and collect it for me, please. The thing is, you claim it's in East... Oh wait, no, it is in East Flamerock. The way that they said that they'd found another one, I thought she was talking about in this side of the map, but no. They're talking about East. It's actually where you fight Penny. In the Ring of Fire. This mount, this is the Zoo mount. You can buy it off the market board. Otherwise, I believe it is from Submersibles? From the FC? But it's Heavensward content, I think. Because it was originally airships and not submersibles, right? What the hell is a submersible? FC content. You can only get them in... you can only do them if you have an FC house. What the hell is FC? Free Company, the Guild. The guilds in Final Fantasy XIV. But But yeah, you can just look for like a zoo horn on the market board and you can buy it. It's less than 1 million. I forget how much this one was. I think it was like 300k, maybe. I mean, I could look it up on Universalis and tell you how much it's selling for right now. Shit. Okay, I guess I gotta fight you. These guys are some of the highest level things in Pyros. These are the things that you need to kill in order to spawn any. To be honest, I probably could have run into her arena and gone past this thing's aggro. That would have been smart. At the center of the confluence of ether, you find a shimmering stone. Right, and the other one... the other one is where you spawn Skull. Who, if Penny is the boss that you fight in here, Skull is the mini-boss. Is this out of your aggro range? No. Shit. Okay. I guess we're running. You're now a level 7 carrier. Huh? Can you fuck off? So the zoo horn on my data center is actually selling for about 100k, and that actually makes sense given that it's a mount that I bought, so it probably wasn't going to be too expensive. Super secret job. Okay. Finally, there we go. I was going to just use return, but we're near one of the Aetherites now anyway. Oh, they've actually spawned Skull. Come on. Lose aggro. Lose aggro. Thank you. So yeah, Skull is basically the secondary boss for Pyros in that it is the, other than Penny, it is the highest level fate that requires a weather condition. So it requires blizzards, whereas Penny requires heat waves, and Skull is one of the 3 fates that drops the items needed to unlock having an extra Magicite. So yeah. I swear to God, if I end up getting lucky and actually getting Skull's Fang from this kill on stream, it's going to be amazing. Because on the market board, Skull's Claw rather, on the market board, it sells for a minimum on my data center of about 4 mil. And you only need one of them. So if I end up getting lucky and getting more than one, awesome. I've done a really good job of balancing my aspected mana, haven't I? It's fine, I'm balancing it back out now. Not that it really matters when you're fighting a single opponent. Like, I know I can use this combo, and it's pretty good. Like, it does have a higher higher potency. But then I've got to use this, and then this, and it's just a hassle, man. So yeah, this is why he's a mini-boss. He spawns these ads that you can completely ignore, but until now, that's of this scale, with how difficult these ads are, it's something that only the bosses for the region have done. And down goes the puppy. No such luck. In getting Skull's Claw on stream. It would have been awesome if we had. What's the one for Yin Yang? Oop. What's the thing that's Yin Yang's tissue? Okay, yeah. So Skulls is the rarest because of the fact that you can spawn them less frequently because of the weather condition. But the other two are Lame Bricks, who you can spawn anytime, who I think his item that you need is Lame Bricks' Dice, which sells for about 800k. And Yin Yang, who you can also spawn at any time, his sells for 1.3 million. So yeah, if I get lucky and I can get 2 Skull Claws before I happen to get any of the other ones, I could pay for buying the other 2 off of the market board. But we'll see how lucky I get. I need to do a lot more bunny fates in order to try and get some money and the Eldthur's mount. Do need to be a little bit careful here, because even through Wisdom of the Plate Bearer, if there's a bunch of these guys gang up on me, these are the things that you need to kill in order to spawn Skull as well. I thought it was here. Oh, I need to speak with Kryl first. Shit. Okay. My bad. That's a my bad. Good, you've returned. I hope your trip was uneventful. And with that, we have the final Magicite of Pyros. Thank you so much for this and everything else you've done for me. I've been thinking, if the ward is the best means by which we might contain and defeat Eureka, then we must restore it. We must do so without the proto-aetherite we cannot repair. So I propose to you, what if we were to instead construct a new focal point to replace the void left by the proto-aetherite? I'm quite serious. If we were to utilize the magicite we've collected thus far, I believe we could construct a facsimile to serve in the aetherite's place. I won't lie, doing this will take significant time and resources, materials and manpower, that we lack at present. Even so, I think this is our best option. To achieve this, we'll also need to redirect the ethereal streams to fuel the process, to immerse the magicite in a torrential flood of ether, namely the endless font rising from Pagos. Whether or not this is even possible is another question altogether. Therefore, I'd like you to perform a simple test for me. The magicite I've given you has been specially treated to facilitate the absorption of ether. I want you to take it to the Cavern of the Second Kant, which is directly above the fumarole of Pagos. Hold it above the ethereal font and observe how it reacts. Then return to me and report your findings. Thank you. Okay, now we go to where I just was. Okay, can we get through this time without aggroing anything? I'm actually gonna put that into Earth so that if I do aggravate one of them, I can at least do something about it. I should also change my weapon, because that weapon is probably not as good now as this. Yeah, because at least then I have direct hit rate and spell speed. Until I have some vitilated ether, I can't get anything better on here. I suppose the vitality and the intelligence are actually slightly better on the Pyros tuck, but that's fine. I should be able to lose aggro by the time that we get over there. Yeah, cool. So just don't get nuked. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, directly below us is Pagos, apparently. The endless font of ether rising from Pagos far below continues into the skies high above. In mere moments, the treated magicite grows bright and warm as it reacts to the torrential stream of ether, as Kral hoped it would. Okay, and now I just have to get back, which actually can be a lot simpler because I'm not trying to do anything else in Pyros. So I can just leave the instance and start again because I've not got my return. It's on cooldown. Please tell me you come bearing good news. What a relief. Then the method I envisioned for constructing an aetherite facsimile to restore the ward should be viable. And with that, I believe we've once again come to the end of our time together. As I mentioned before, this process will require a significant time and resources which we lack at present. So there's nothing else you can contribute to our expedition for now. I should say, though, that the next stage of our expedition may well be our last. If we can't gain access to our headquarters soon, then we may be too late to stop Eureka. And then I'll refrain from grim predictions and the like, especially when I should like to think it will not come to that. We're coming for you, Educa. And there we go. That is Pyros. Finished. The more that you do in this game, the more you realise that you haven't done squat. Yeah. So, if I do playtime, I have 68 days, 8 hours, and 7 minutes of playtime on this character. That is more than double my previous main. And that is because I have done every Zodiac relic. I have done almost every Anima relic. I have leveled every class instead of focusing just on White Mage, because I was a White Mage main. I did White Mage and then I did Ninja as my secondary class. I started leveling Dragoon and got up to 50 and then gave up because Dragoon's boring as fuck. Or was at the time, at least. I still don't particularly like Dragoon. But still, it's better than it was. So I have done a lot more stuff. I've done Blue Mage on this character, which I didn't do on my previous character. I have done every... I've done every society. Although I had done all of those up to Stormblood on my old character, I just hadn't done the allied quest lines. I have done every extreme trial in order to get all of the mounts. I've not done them for Stormblood yet because I've not unlocked all of them. And I had done all of the Alliance raids, and actually I'd done all of the Alliance raids up to Heavensward, and I'd only done 2 out of the 3 for Stormblood. But I hadn't done most of the normal raids except for Omega, where I'd done most but not all of them. I got to Alphascape, but I didn't finish it. We still have to do those, so we've still got the normal raids and Alliance raids for Stormblood to go, which is going to explain why there's that ship floating in the sky. Yeah. I basically want to do pretty much everything on this character. I really want to do the variant dungeons as well, which is Endwalker. Post-Endwalker. Because that's how you get the first variant dungeon, which is basically a dungeon that has branching paths on it, and there's 12, I think, 12 different endings that you can get, and depending on what ending you're going for, the boss fights are different, or the mechanics of the boss fight change. But that's how you can get the mount version of this minion, which is my favorite minion. So I really want that. My efficiency is giving you goosebumps. I don't know if I'd call it efficient as much as it is. I was playing this game anyway. Before I started streaming this character, I was playing this game anyway, but I didn't really have any goals, and I was skipping cutscenes and not paying attention to things and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't really doing the most multiplayer stuff that I had done, despite this being an MMO, was Eureka. And that was some of the best multiplayer that I had in my experience in the game. And I got to the end of Shadowbringers, and I had about 36 days of playtime on that character that I'd been playing on and off for a couple of years. We started this character 6 months ago. And I have nearly 68. I have 68 and a third. How many days between the 10th and today? So there is a total... Never mind. That's not even... What the fuck? Okay, so 10th to... What is today? Today is... That... So there's 188 days. So, oh god, that's rather telling. That's 36%. That should tell you how much I've been playing this game. There's 188 days since I started this character. And I have a playtime of 68 days. Which is 36%. A third of every day has been spent playing this game. Which I think doesn't that mean that there's an average of 8 hours playtime every day? Sheesh. Right now you're cleaning up your quest logs and doing your dailies for Red Mage. I need to finish the 2 anima relics that I have left, one of which, the Dragoon, is at the light grind stage. I just need to put that on Party Finder and do that. But I've been too busy doing Eureka. The other one actually, let's quickly go and we can go and finish. This will be the last time that I ever have to do this stage of an anima relic. Can't I just do unrestricted? I could do, but it would take me at least a few minutes to do it by myself. Whereas if you get a party together of other people also doing the light grind, you can do A9S in about 1 minute 30, which means that instead of it being like an hour to 2 hour grind to do the 21 clears, you can do it in about 30 minutes. Customer, oh my god! This will also free up my inventory, because I have been carrying these items for so fucking long. Oh, it's so much more free. I have done so many of these. You still need to get all of your characters to 50 and you got 3 left. Nice. What do these ones look like? Thanks. I hate them. So what is it now that you need to do? I think, is it coming into your own? No, that's this one. Okay. Is it finding your voice? Is this the one that needs Aether Oil, in which case I can free up another slot? It is that one. then yeah, I can fill up another slot in my inventory by getting rid of the last of the Aether Oil that I had as well. I'm freeing up so much inventory space. Finally! Which is good, because all of that inventory space is being taken up by Eureka items now. Yeah, thanks. Still hate them. And now Dream Fulfilled is the Umbrite stage, I think. You think your favorite monk weapon is the one in Idleshire? I'm guessing you mean this one. Because at the moment, it's my favorite too. Out of all the ones that I've come across. I don't really like the Zodiac Relic one. I do like some of the normal fist style weapons though, like where it's just a gauntlet that you wear, like wrist wrappings instead of some weird bullshit thing that's on your fist. So like the Fists of the Fiend. I'm guessing you mean these weapons from Idleshire. These are my favorite. The next favorite that I have are probably the ones that are just like wrist wrappings and stuff like that, or like the Fist of the Fiend from Sephiroth. No, these aren't the one that you're talking about. Do I need to go and see what the Augmented Shire ones are? You're talking about the mechanical gauntlet ones. Oh, do you mean from Alexander? Because yeah, it's definitely not those. Those look kind of shit. And those are the ones that I just showed. It's from Bertana. Oh, in which case it's one of the... It's probably the ones from Sephiroth. These ones. Because yeah, I was talking about the crafted version of these, the ones that have the glow effect. Yeah, the crafted version. Oh, I don't have it as a glamour plate anymore. But yeah, the crafted version of those I have used as a robotic glam for a while. Until I got my tantric chest wrap. Fuck off. Okay. So yeah, I now need a shit ton of Umbrite again. But once I'm done with the Umbrite, I can get rid of the crystal sand. I definitely made too much crystal sand. Because I only need 60 per relic. So I must have gotten lucky and either I miscounted, or I got a shit ton of bonus crystal sand out of everything. So yeah. Anyway, we need to go back to Kugane. That was a nice little detour to finish off some stages of the Anima Relic so that I could free up my inventory though. Oh, adventurer, you couldn't have come at a better time. The preparations for the water in place, or whatever the fuck, I really just... Bleh. Now, in keeping with tradition, the region in which the camp lies has been given a name, Hydatos, a reference to its watery disposition. God's willing, this will be the last corner of the island the expedition will need to contend with. But without further ado, let me know when you're ready to head over. Mistress Kryl is very keen to resume her efforts with your help. I just didn't think and clicked through. Apologies. Yeah, Hydatos, the final region in Eureka. And in case you couldn't tell by the fact that it's called Hydatos, it is water ether. And there is the students of Baldessian's headquarters. Now, because I did so much stuff in Pyros, I'm actually already level 54. Where's the... There it is. Wait, no. I'm getting wrong. That's the bunny fate. I got confused and thought that was... No, the level 50 fate for Hydatos is Calamari. Yes, it's a squid. So, Hydatos. I need to remind myself what level are the different things. Okay, so I could grab one of the other Aetherites right now, but I need one more level before I can unlock the next one. But do I need to do any of Kral's quests? I do need to do the first one because that unlocks leveling up Hydatos weapons. I can then wait to do the rest until we have gotten up to level 60, because that's when I can unlock the Baldessian Arsenal, which is the final challenge of Eureka, which is an extremely hard dungeon that you take on basically with an alliance of 24 people. In fact, you can take in more people than that. But yeah, it's a kind of ridiculous and awesome dungeon. You're going to head out and help this dude on Final Fantasy XIV? Enjoy. So yeah, let's do this first quest with Kryl. Ever a sight for sore eyes. By now it's no secret, but we can't well continue our work without you. As always, let us begin by taking stock of the situation. Through our previous investigation, we learned that the founders had sealed away the primal Eureka on this isle. However, Edgica then came along and, acting at Eureka's behest, sabotaged the Proto-Aetheryte, what may be considered the beating heart of the ward, on account of which the ward has ceased to function. For a blessing, we discovered a way to restore it, by infusing magicite with copious amounts of ether to create a new focal point. It took considerable time and effort, but the preparations are now ready. All that remains is to reach the primal and seal it away once more. In order to do that, as per our original objective, we must gain entry to the students' headquarters. However, this has been rendered complicated owing to a number of factors. Aside from lying beyond impassable terrain, the structure is protected by a ward of its own. Did you ever doubt it? Ordinarily, the members of the students were able to teleport inside, but the high concentrations of ether we've measured makes doing so extremely dangerous. We must ascertain the conditions first, or we risk not emerging from the life stream. So I've a mind to enter via the back door, as it were. Yet this method of ingress, too, isn't without its problems, but it's better to explain it out in the field. And that's where we stand. Now, before we set out, there's one last matter I'd like to attend to. You see, I had tasked the expedition scholar with researching legends pertaining to Eureka. Call it a scholar's hunch, but I thought that a hint might be scrounged from among the tales. But come, let us see what good the scholar has dug up for us. Are you going to force me into that? Fuck, you are. Okay. Greetings, Mistress Kral. Mistress After. May I assume you've come about the legends? Indeed we have. Did your efforts bear fruit? They did, I'm pleased to say. First of all, it must be noted that there are several legends describing the Forbidden Land, Eureka. Despite their many divergences, however, all are united in one detail, that Eureka was a repository for transcendent weapons hidden beneath the Crystal Tower. Combining this fact with your account of Eureka's avatar forging a blade for Master Edgica, I'm led to conclude the Primal possesses the ability to create weapons. Weapons forged by a Primal, put in the hands of mortals. What could possibly go wrong? In her visions, Mistress After heard the words, "Exposure places the bearer's very soul at hazard," did she not? I take that to mean that those who wield such weapons are at risk of becoming the Primal's vessel. This calls to mind Uriansha's report on the dark divinity Odin and his sword Zansetsuken. The Primal was not the rider, but the weapon. Odin is said to have appeared during the age of the Gallean Empire. It may well be that Zansetsuken was forged by Eureka. Recognizing the danger, the Galleans sealed Eurekan weapons beneath the Crystal Tower, and this gave rise to the myriad legends of a forbidden land. Curious though, assuming Eureka was born of prayers, one would expect a deity the likes of Byragot to manifest, a brawny smithy working the forge. Yet what we have is a primal possessed of an autonomous avatar, which goes around promising power and glory, not the kind of entity that would arise from homespun legends. No, it feels all too purposeful, calculated. But such musings are for another time. I have some few things to prepare in order to make use of the aforementioned back door. In the meantime, would you go and pay Geralt a visit? I understand he's devised yet more ways to ease your labours. Come and find me when you're done speaking with him. A moment, Mistress After. There's one more matter I wish to speak with you about. It pertains to the members of the students believed trapped inside the headquarters. We've been speaking of a rescue, but based on what we know, that may be an overly optimistic view. The concentration of ether we've measured inside the tower is, to be blunt, not conducive to life. Certainly not over long periods, and all this time there's been no observable movement from within. Of course, the students are knowledgeable and skilled folk, and they may have found some way to survive. But even as we cling to this hope, we should prepare ourselves for the worst. Forgive me for bothering you with gloomy talk. I won't keep you any longer. Pray, go and seek out Master Geralt. So the fate that's currently up, I don't want to believe, is the fate that is needed in order to unlock, to gain access to the Baldessian Arsenal. Can I get there in time to take part? I'm way too low level to get stuff out of it, unfortunately, but it should give me a decent chunk of experience. And it's a special fate in that when it spawns, there is the umbral turbulence weather, which you can see here. But if you are level 60 and have completed all of the relevant story quests, completing the fate with a gold gives you a buff that then lets you enter the Baldessian Arsenal. But they seem to be checking if anyone has Dispel, because without Dispel, the boss gets a damage up. But the boss may look familiar to people that have played Final Fantasy XI. If no one has Dispel, no one is gonna pull it. Apparently no one wants to get it, so... It's a really good fate to do, even if you're not trying to get into the Baldessian Arsenal, because it gives, I think it gives 30 Hydatos crystals when you clear it, which is a massive amount of crystals for Hydatos, because this is the only region that hasn't had an increased crystal drop rate. Now, I need to try and remember when this boss needs you to get inside him. And when you need to get away. So I think this one is the one where you get inside him. And when he does fluorescence, that's when I have to do dispel, because fluorescence gives him a massive damage up buff. So far, this is going pretty well, given that I am 6 levels under. Yeah, let's get away from him. Nearly dead. Full of the Void, and that's the one where you want to get away from it. Okay, yeah, so Mega Storm, get inside it. The other one, get away. And it's dead. Okay, that gave me 10 million. Of course, I was too low level to benefit from getting the Hydatos crystals. That's fine. Hydatos is one of the regions where getting the item needed for the final stage of the relic is easier than getting the crystals you need to reach that stage. Because even so the boss that drops the item that you need doesn't have a weather pattern. You can spawn them whenever. However, other than Ovni that we just killed, I think the most crystals you can get from a single fate is 20. And you need... How many is it you need per relic? 350 per relic. Oh, I was wrong. So there is a fate that spawns when someone is actively doing the Baldessian Arsenal, and that's the one that gives 30 crystals. The one that we just did only gives 10, which is also what the one that gives you the item you need for the final stage of the relic gives you. Most of the other ones give 5 Hydatos crystals. So bearing in mind that you need 350 Hydatos crystals per relic, not including armor either, which needs a further 200. Ugh. Yeah. I'm gonna be in Hydatos a long time. But the important thing is that we've unlocked it, so now I can come in here, and there are methods for leveling up quickly. The best thing to do is to just do fates until you get up to like a relatively high level. I think it's like 58 or 59. And then you can, if you need that bit of help to get over the edge, you can use reflect on a bunch of sprites that are on a little island over here somewhere. And basically by doing reflect, the sprites will kill themselves and you'll get the experience and you can kill them very easily. And it's actually easier if you're naked because they'll do more damage to you. But anyway, we should finish. Let's talk to Geralt. Everything sorted with Kral. Good, good. As before, got a bunch of things to catch you up on. Prick up your ears and listen. First, regarding the Logos Manipulator. We've improved the vials we use to store transubstantiated memes, meaning you can carry on more of the stuff. The Expedition Alchemist can tell you more about it. Next, your Magia board. If you was already impressed with 6 pieces of Magicite, rejoice! We can now augment the thing to hold 7 stones. If you talk to the Expedition Engineer, it'll fix you right up. And last but not least, my favourite topic. No, not my goddamn debts, you cheeky bloody sod. Weapons! I found a way to make your weapons even stronger. If this tickles your fancy, just let me know. Oh, and while you're here... Drake! Get your ass over here and tell the woman about the logograms. Madam, I'm pleased to inform you that we've discovered new varieties of logograms here in Hydatos. Certain combinations of these may yield heretofore unseen memes, and I encourage you to experiment with the logograms you come upon. So, this is looking to be the final stage of the expedition. I'm stuck with you all this way, so don't go disappointing me now, eh? See the job finished. From myself as well, madam, I wish you the best of luck in your endeavours here. Right. Everything what needed saying's been said. If you want to know about weapon enhancement, we can talk now. Otherwise, you can piss off back to Crown. Upon recording 56 or more unique entries in your Logos Actions log and speaking with Drake, you'll be able to acquire new items. Please be advised that these items will only become available after you've gained access to the Eureka armor offered by the Expedition Artisan in North Point. So basically, I needed 50 in order to unlock... Okay. I needed 50 different unique Logos actions in order to get elemental armor base level. You need 56 in order to get the next You need to have every single possible logo section crafted. And then, yeah, this is what the elemental armor can look like once you've got it leveled up. You get this glow effect, which looks quite good. Unfortunately, I don't think you can dye the glow effect. Or at least you couldn't. I don't know if you can. By the looks of it, no. Yeah. So you can dye the main color. But you can't dye the glow effect. I was hoping that might have been one of the things that they added dual dye channels to. So this is the lowest level notorious monster of Hydatos. Calamari, literally a squid. There we go, our first lot of Hydatos crystals. And Hydatos lockboxes, but I forget if there can be anything good in the lockboxes. There's some music, some housing items, a star. I think you can get better stuff from the bunnies though. Yeah, because you can get some of the stuff that you need in order to get the extra logogram stuff. So I think you can get up to 6 of these. So you get those from getting silver ones. You can also get 2 different kinds of spear from the gold treasure chests from the bunnies here, as well as there is another mount that you can get only in Hydatos from gold bunny chests, which I would quite like to get. But in order to get that, I need to do a bunch of bunnies. Yay. What do you want? You know, looking back, we've come a long way. And if the talk around camp's true, here's where the journey ends. Listen to me trying to wax poetic. Feels like hot turds tumbling out my bloody mouth. Let's get on with it, eh? So, last time we strengthened the weapons by infusing it with memes. Stuffed it near to bursting with the power of memories. While there's no room left for more memes, we can fortify what's already there. And that's precisely what we're going to do, using ether from crystals and the like. Word of warning though, once we get started on a weapon, you won't be able to improve it at the meme workstation. That's until we finished augmenting it at any rate. Just bear that in mind. And that's the long and short of it. Off you go then. Getting materials we need and I'll get to work. So yeah, once you start enhancing a Pyros weapon, you can't use the vitilated ether in Pyros to try and re-roll its substats. Short 45 crystals. Yeesh. So yeah. I'll get a bunch of this done. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to leave the instance. There we go. I'll get a bunch of this done off stream. In time for next week when we can do the story, and then that should just leave the Baldessian Arsenal to do on stream, which I'll do at least once on stream. But when it comes to the final stage of the Eorzean relics is the Physios stage, and that requires you to have a is it 100 each or is it just 100 total? No, it's 100 each of items that you can get. About 20, yeah, a complete clear of the Baldessian Arsenal gives you 28 of the item, and you need 100 per relic. So you need to do 4 runs in order to do 1 relic. I will probably only get 1 relic up to Physios, because there is no visual appearance change. It's a change. It makes the weapon better in Eureka only. So it makes it like the ultimate weapon for Eureka. That's something that I will do in order to then help me farm other stuff. The remaining crystals that I need, for example. But I'm not gonna try and get Physios for all 15 relics, because it's just not worth it. It's really not. So there's a good chance that I'm going to get the Red Mage Physios weapon. There's a very good chance that that's going to be how it plays out. But anyway, next time that we stream, I will probably be level 60, because it actually doesn't take that long to get up to level 60. I may not have all of the crystals that I need in order to get the Hydatos relic finished, though. But if we can get up to level 60 next week, we can do the rest of the story for Hydatos, and maybe I'll keep an eye out for when people are doing Baldessian Arsenal clears, because you generally require like a bunch of people getting together on Discord, and in fact I'm part of a Discord that does exactly that for late night, which is the main Baldessian Arsenal clearing group for Chaos Data Center, I believe. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to call it there for today, because of the late start and the fact that it's already midnight. So thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see some people tomorrow for more Cyberpunk 2077. I'm hoping that next week, if we do get the story for Eureka finished, I can then focus on doing more job quests, unlocking the Alliance raids and the normal raids, and we'll do a bunch of that stuff. So yeah. You probably won't be here tomorrow as it's D&D day. No problem, Tinga. Enjoy D&D. Right. I'll catch you next time. Later.